What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Thought and Talk podcast with Aaron EBM. I welcome all of you guys here, and I thank you guys for coming by the channel and stopping by. Could have been doing anything else, but you decided to be here chilling out with me. Let's go ahead and get the show started.
That's a real star you got there.
Thanks.
Take care of those hands. They're taking you places.
I got hands. I'ma go pro.
You definitely could.
Easy money.
Easy money. Have you ever thought about what else you could be? Go alongside. You could be a brain surgeon. Your hands could operate as skillfully as Dr. Myron Rowe. Or a sports agent, handling big contracts, like Rich Paul. What about an artist? You can be as creative as Brian Blue the Great. The art you make could inspire the world. Son, you can even be an astronaut. Flying in space with Leland D. Melvin. Sure, with those hands, you could play for a team, but you could buy a team. Ownership gets to wear the rings first.
I can do all that, Dad?
You can be anything you want with these hands.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the broadcast. I appreciate you being out here. What's going on, AR? What's going on? Give a big shout out to AR with the Him versus Her Solutions channel. If you haven't been by that channel, please go by that channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Some real good content going on over there. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. So go ahead and go by the Him versus Her Solutions channel. Make sure you subscribe and tell them Aaron EBM sent you. So what's going on? What's good? What's good? Get this cam going. What's good? What's good? I hope you guys are doing all right. I'm doing okay. Not doing too bad. Not seeing that it's almost Friday. I'm not doing too bad at all. So I'm chilling out here, really enjoying my my summer, man. I hope you all have been being productive, getting something out of the time, not just sitting around in the house doing what you want to do or just sitting around being lazy. But I hope you are being productive, because especially the men, we all have to be productive, man. Let's get out and do something instead of sitting here complaining and letting time go by. You guys know what this channel is about. You guys know what I do. You know what I talk about. Outside of talking about these women, these unruly women, I gotta motivate you guys. I gotta inspire sometimes, and gotta give you guys something to really stew on. So today, that's what we're going to be doing. You on a diet? Let me see. Man, I'm like a squirrel, man. I start seeing these comments and I just stop. So let me go ahead and read this. Hey, you said you on a diet, so your summer sucked. Hey, you got to make the best of it, man. Man, just think about the future. Think about the long run. You know, that's the easiest thing about it. I mean, it's not easy. You know, it can be difficult, but it's like everything else. It's kind of like the habit forming. Once you get the habits in and once you kind of get used to it, you know, it's hard to go back. So, you know, just keep with it, keep at it, you know, and you'll be able to get through it. No time at all, man. But, you know, same here. You know, today I didn't eat yesterday. I had like an apple and a tangerine yesterday. You know, I wanted to really eat more, but I really didn't get to. So it got so late, got to the point to where I couldn't do anything but eat the fruit that was in front of me. So I ended up eating that, and that was it, man. I actually ate a little bit more. So I'm going to have to work once the sun goes down, because it's a little too hot right now to get out there. And I ain't trying to have a heat stroke or nothing out there like right now. So I figure I'll put a few in, man. We had some turkey and little mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And you know how it is, man. So I figured that'll be my cheat meal for the week and go at it like that. So well, say you say, hey, you right, man. I've been telling people that I've been saying that for like the last 2 years now. I said the higher this meat goes up, it's gonna force us all to be vegetarians. That's real talk. Chicken. And if you got a Walmart, what kind of stores you got around there? Because I know here Walmart, those glazed ice glazed chicken they had, the cheap chicken that they got in the big bag, the big mutant pieces. It's usually like $7, $8, $10. It's like $30 a pack now. So I'm like, man, I didn't think they were gonna mess with the chicken, but they started messing with the chicken. I'm like, man, pretty soon I'm not gonna be able to eat anything. The fish, if you like fish, the fish went up. The fish is didn't go up. It really more of a what they call the shrinkflation. So the bags that they have now, the pieces they give you less and for the same price to give you the illusion that you're really getting the same amount of food. So it's getting nuts, man. The ribs, spare ribs are like $20 a pack. Spare ribs has always been the cheap meat. Spare ribs, pork steaks, pork chops, kind of, up and down. But you can't, when you're trying to eat better, you really don't need to eat pork, and pork kind of all that salt and fat kind of make my head hurt. I try to stay away from that anyway. But yeah, I love ribs. Like ribs is one of the best parts of the summer. You know what I'm saying? You got the ribs on the barbecue. You got your beer, your favorite drink, and you kind of get used to eating barbecue. And now, I got to cut back on the barbecue because the barbecue is like, eating out at Red Lobster now. So, man, I'm telling you, man, we can't win out there, man. You can't win, but maybe it's for the good. I was telling somebody, I can't remember who was telling. I can't remember. I was telling my wife the other day that maybe it's a good thing to kind of force us to eat better. So. That I try to think of it as the glass half full. Man, I'm glad to be out of work. I'm sorry I missed last week's stream. I actually had to, out of nowhere, they told me I needed to go. I had to make a trip like 3 hours down south. So, they what they call it, voluntold. They voluntold me to go down there, and I was like, they asked me did I want to do it. I'm like, hell no, I don't even want to be here working, but I got to make a check. So. Yeah, I'll go do it. Ran down 3 hours, came back up, and then by the time I came back up, it was 8:30, whatever. I was ready to go sleep and go to take a bath and go to bed. So I'm here today, like I say, every Thursday at 8 p.m. and we're here. And you know how I do it in Aaron EBM fashion. Let me see. Go to make sure I share the screen. Got it. Make sure I got that. Yeah, man. Today we're going to talk about mastering the AI step over. And I know you guys seen the thumbnail up for the last couple of days. If you've been by the channel or if you've been by the social media, seen mastering the AI step over. And what we're going to be talking about when I'm talking about mastering the AI step over. So make sure you stay around, man. For right now, we're just going to kick it a little bit, seeing some of the madness that's been going on out and around. Make sure I get this up.
But
hold on now.
But we can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community as distinct
later.
But we can't get those things.
That's for later. So who else feels like they're in the Twilight Zone right now? Who else feels like they're in the Twilight Zone? We're out here twerking at the polls, trying to twerk and shake your boot to the polls. We got twerking senators. What else we got, man? We got Real Housewives going to jail for fraud. And man, it's just one thing after another, man. It's not making sense to me. I feel like it's something like the Mandela effect. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if we slipped into another universe. It's weird. It's weird. But I wanted to see this, man. I wanted you guys to see this. First Lady slammed.
Raul helped build this
Listen to this.
organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But we can't get those things on our own.
Okay, y'all. This is y'all. Hey, this is y'all First Lady, man. Jill Biden slammed for and forced to apologize after saying Hispanics were as unique as breakfast tacos. I'm telling you, we are not in the same universe as we were a few years ago. Never in my life did I think I would live to see days like this, but it's here. It's here. And like I say, this content makes itself. You guys see it. You got Jill Biden. Yes, that's right. That's right. Bells. You got Hunter Biden, a crackhead, running around, getting to say whatever he want to say out on social media. And you got Kamala Harris talking about running with collard greens through the airport of through South Carolina airports. And I'm saying, man, come on, man. When has it ever been, besides the war in Ukraine, when has it ever been a better time to be alive and to think that you would see the stuff like that? Hey, we had a what was it? A TV star. We got a reality TV star as a president. We got the first Black-ish president. The world is, I told you, it's a great time to be alive, but it's weird. It's weird. Biden sending sending our oil to China. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm telling you, it's a reason why they're getting these bills and these hate bills right there. Something big is coming. I'm not going to talk about it on this stream, but they're going to need the protection, and it's not for no reason. Where's the exact man? I don't know. Jill, it's nuts. Hold on. You said Elon Musk's father is having a baby with his stepdaughter and second baby. I'm telling you, this is just never been a better time to be alive. I mean, everybody is upset. They don't want to talk about each other. They don't want us talking about each other. Hold on. Make sure them kids is all right. Everybody's arguing and going at each other, and they're failing to see the wonder and the beauty that's right here upon us right now. We got this social media has given us treasure troves of information to have and to be able to see and talk to each other and talk about, and I just sometimes I just have to think about the wonder that this internet has given us, besides, like I said, the men and women going at each other, the battle of the sexes, the war between men and women. And it really is not a war. It's everything that everybody knew already. It's just that we got platforms to talk about it. We have social media networks to be able to get, show our grievances and tell each other how we feel, and men are able to speak without being shut down or being canceled. And it's just a better, it's a good time to be alive. Like I said before, it's a good time to be alive. Oh man, but the AI step over, like I said, I don't want to get too far away because we do need to stay on topic. The AI step over. Allen Iverson, one of the best basketball players in the 2000s. We don't need this up here right now. Let me pull this down. One of the best basketball players of the 2000s. And that's something else too. That's for later. One of the best basketball players of the 2000s, Allen Iverson. If you were watching basketball during the 2000s, if he wasn't one of your one of your favorite players, something was wrong with you. He was one of mine. He was one of my favorite players, and so many highlights that Allen Iverson had that made him one of the best of all times. I believe. I know everybody's got their own thing. It's either Kobe or Shaq or what's the other one? LeBron James. And you know, it goes back and forth. And MJ, we can't forget Michael Jordan, but Allen Iverson was a trendsetter. You know what I'm saying? He was a hero to a lot of people. You know, come from the bottom to make it all the way up to where he was. You know, and his career was summed up by all kinds of highlights. You know, we talk about the practice, you know, that whole practice thing that or scandal or media deal that they had where his friend got killed, and you know, they were worried about practice and that whole thing, and that, you know, became a part of his legacy. You know, some people thought that him crossing over MJ was the highlight of his career.
I gave him a little cross to see what he bite on it. I let him set his feet, and then I stepped it back again.
Allen shakes free, gets two! Mike said no. Allen said yes. The bucket, the crowd loves it.
But I don't think that was the highlight of his career. Him crossing over MJ let everybody know that he was going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yes, he was there and he wasn't going anywhere, right? You know, MJ was the GOAT, and by a lot of people and by a lot of standards, he still is the GOAT. But there was another part. There was another thing during the 2001 playoffs against the Lakers where he stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Sixers have scored 9 in a row. 7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water. The Sixers by 4. 40 seconds left.
And it was the step over. It was the step over that was heard around the world. It was the step over that made him a force to be reckoned with. And he finally had got to the place that many people sorry about that. Make sure I got that on there. He got to a place that many basketball players would never get to in their lives. And that step over right there, that step over was etched in time. And it was the step over that made me think. When I seen that this week, I was like, the step over, what does that mean? You know, was it an ultimate sign of disrespect? Or was it, what was it? And to me, it was letting them know that he was Allen Iverson and he was here to stay. And whatever happened, you will remember him as Allen Iverson. And a lot of people, you guys got to remember that you can also master that step over. And you're going to have to master that step over in different parts of your life in order to etch yourself and etch your legacy in the stone of time. You're going to have to learn how to master that step over. You're going to have to be there to be able to step on people and be in places and just step over people. It's going to be a time where you can't look back. It's going to be a time where you can't give somebody a hand up, but it's going to be a time that you're going to have to step right over your competition. You're going to have to step right over the haters. You're going to have to step over people that don't believe in you, especially like at your jobs. You know, it's going to be times when people won't listen to you. It's going to be times that people doubt you in the positions that you're in, and you're not going to be able to do anything but wait for them to fall and then step over them. You know, it's very interesting. You know, it's a very interesting topic because a lot of times we get stuck in wanting to be there to argue amongst one another, to be able to tell somebody that they're, you know, and show them that you're right, to be able to show them that, you know, that your point needs to be made. But sometimes you don't always have to speak. Sometimes that you don't always have to be the last one to speak. Sometimes stepping over somebody is letting them talk and dig themselves into an early grave and let them make the bed and make them lay in it. You know, that's what the step over is. Mastering that step over. Everybody needs to master that step over, especially men. Men need to master that step over because for the last 30 years, women have been mastering that step over, and they've been doing it for left and right. They've been stepping over men left and right, and haven't been ashamed or haven't been apologetic for taking the opportunities to step over men or taking the opportunities to say, look at me and you guys are nothing, and it's time for us to step over you men, and it's time for you men to catch up. Now, if I'm lying or if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I guarantee that most people are going to understand what I'm saying and that I'm not wrong in this situation. We can't, it's not always for us to argue with people. It's not always there for us, or it's not always for us to argue with these women, to show women that we are right and show women that we are deserving, or to show women that we are still worthy of having, you know, having some respect. Sometimes we're just going to have to step right over them. That's what having power is. That's what stepping out. That's what taking your power is. Some is taking is letting them look you dead in the eye and you just stepping over them. It's not always being able to play the hero too. It's too many brothers trying to show women and show people that they are chivalrous and show that they are still men of honor, and then end up getting killed. But sometimes you need to look at this woman, or look over at this person, and then say, hey, I'm going to step over you, and I'll call the police for you, or whatever you need. I'm just going to do it at afar, and help you and wish you the best of luck. It's all over the place. I mean, you'll see it all over the place. Example after example after example that you can use and need to be able to have that confidence, to be able to have the ability and the will to be able to step over people that are in your way. And I did have something up here, and like I was saying, as I was doing this research for this video, like I say, I try to be here for the men. I try to be here to show you guys and let you guys know that there are different ways, and it's not just one way. And you guys need to keep your eyes open. You guys need to keep yourself guarded, and you guys need to really understand that all of this stuff in this media, all this stuff on these platforms aren't the truth, because people have bigger platforms than you. You got the subscriber supremacy, and you'll think one minute that everybody besides you is right, and you're the only one that's out there standing over, in the cold by yourself, and it feels like you're wrong because you're the only one standing up, or you're the only one that feels a certain kind of way, and they all must be right. But that's not the truth. That's not always the truth. Just because you're out there standing by yourself, just because you're out there by yourself and alone in that situation, does not mean you're the one that's wrong. And I was really looking around, and I was like, I really don't get into the whole argument about the SBE, the shame, blame, and explain people. Some people feel like, Kevin Samuels was a big part of the shame, blame, and explain. He had a lot of good points, but you really think about it, Kevin really cared about the community in the end of the day. A lot of women don't feel like it, and we all understand, because a lot of women didn't want to feel like they were being their shortcomings were being exposed. And that's just what it comes down to, especially in the people in our community. They need to be slapped upside the head sometime, and they really don't like that. It is what it is. Kevin's gone now, and it is what it is. But it didn't take long for Kevin to be gone, for people to really switch up and start doing some strange things. And then that's what I wanted to look at. That's why I had this video up, and I want you guys to look at this. Matter of fact, I'm going to put up this. Stop for a second and put up this fair use banner, because I don't want no smoke. Fair use. Now, this was on the Lapeef Network. And like I say, I respect everybody on this panel. They're doing their things. Their panels are way bigger than mine. Little old, Aaron EBM. I'm just me. I'm just a guy with the mic. These guys, Lapeef and Cruces, and then everybody like that. I give everybody their flowers while they're here. And I'm not going to take that away from them. But at the same time, I can't sit up here and not call out some mess when I see it. So if you haven't seen this video, you got something to see. If you have, you already know what I'm talking about. So let's get it started.
Come on with the red pill rage. Come on.
I said this before, and I say it again. Everything in the world is about sex except for sex. Sex is about power. That was said by Oscar Wilde. You take the woman out of a man's life, and great wealth would be useless to most men.
Bruh.
I said this maybe on pod.
So did y'all hear that? That's Shan Rollins. You know, I respect Shan. Shan is like, you know, he's a 50 plus year old bachelor living his best life. But did you hear him give the message to young men, telling young men that with your power, with the great things that you discover and accomplish as a young man, that it means nothing without the woman. Now, I have a hard time believing that this message would have been played or would have been displayed like this when Brother Kevin was alive. I might be wrong, but I have a real hard time believing that this message would be played like that a year ago. But your mission, your life means nothing without the presence and without that woman in your life.
Nope.
Episode 4 of King Talk last year. It's that inherent desire of a man to please his woman that gives him the power to be creative. The emotion of love, it brings out and it develops men. Ricky said it. Everything that we
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, everybody. Don't get me wrong, because I am a fair and balanced guy. You know, a woman does, and your woman, especially if you have a good woman in your life is great. A good woman is there to be a nurturer. Like if she's a good woman, she is a nurturer. When you're battling the world and when you're coming home and you feel like, you know, the whole world is against you, there's nothing better or nothing better than a woman to be there to rub your head and let you know that she has your back. But for them to get on this platform on this episode of Lapeef and give this message to young men that all of everything they're doing in life is because of the opposite sex, I can't rock with that. That's just me. And I know guys talk about being macho, and I'm not just a macho guy. I'm a regular guy. My whole platform is built on being a regular guy, and that's who I am. I'm just a regular average Joe. You know, I'm not a beta male. I'm not on that beta male. I'm not on that alpha male guy. I'm just a guy that says, let's live and let live, rock, and I'll let you rock. And this was something else. Let me get this up here. Great women is great, but to live, I live on with or without her. And you're supposed to, and a woman is supposed to live on without you, you know. And that's and we're gonna get to. I'm gonna get to that too, but because I don't want to ruin this. But this is, I had never heard of anything like this from these guys, and it was a little off-putting.
What we do is about women. A man attains great heights in wealth and business achievements solely for the driving force of sex and being with his woman. It's been like that since the beginning of time.
Bruh.
Since we was clubbing motherfuckers over the head and dragging them to our cave. A man cannot be stimulated to achieve great heights without love. And if he doesn't have that, he's a hopeless man. He's not really a living.
So your whole journey as a man, the heights that you want to get to, and the heights that are and the accomplishments that a man wants to make is all predicated and all built off the essence of him wanting to have love in his life. You know, and I the reason I have such a hard time with this, because I'm not a opponent of love. You know, because I believe that love is a good thing. You want to have love when you have a stable relationship. But most of the greatest men and the men that are on top right now aren't like that. And I'm not saying that's for everybody to do. Some men are different than others. I can't say every man is the same. It's not. But this is a very dangerous message for young men to me that they were saying. And like I said, I've never would have thought that they had this message going when KS was alive, but it could be me. And you said that's why he was and it could be, but and that's what I'm saying. This man is living, a business owner living his best life, and he's a bachelor. So all of a sudden now it's the thing that where a man can't live, or a man's purpose is anchored to whether he not has love in his life or not. I don't know.
Living at all. Most men won't admit that though. I get it, guys. I get it. Most guys are like, nah, hell nah, beat your chest. It's all about me, because you prefer to be perceived as the dominant partner in a relationship. You want to be identified as the most dominant species of the species. But the reality is,
now, and it could be, and it could be, and I'm sure it's some men like that, and most of the men that feel like that don't have good relationships, or they do get divorced, or they don't want a relationship in the first, not a real, I say real, but a monogamous relationship in the first place. We all know some of those kind of guys. It is what it is. Those are usually the guys that have all of the options, most of the options. I'm gonna say all of the options, but usually have more of the options that they want. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
it's everything that men do, everything that we create, everything that we have in this modern world or ancient is for the desire of love and sex and women.
Nope.
It's like that. It is what's built in. It's baked in the cake.
No, it's that was almost backwards. It starts with the Maslow hierarchy of needs. It's the sex first. We are humans. We are animals, and our innate nature is to have sex and procreate. So, okay, sex comes first, and then if you bond with that woman, then you want to keep that woman, and then that part comes second. That love part grows. That's how they usually have arranged marriages, and that love part grows. So I don't really think that love part is the beginning or the very first stage of being a man or successful man or having a successful relationship. So no, bruh, not. And that was weird, bro. It was weird because nobody did. Man, it was like they rehearsed this before they did it. I really felt like this needed to be a Patreon special and not shown, but we're gonna get to that too. But no, hey.
As I say, it's the way we are, fellas. That's why I don't, when people say, oh man, MGTOW, let's, men go your own way. Like, where you gonna go? And what's gonna motivate you to do anything? So you can get high fives from the homies? When you think about
like I said, man, this was the craziest thing I had ever seen. Like I said, respects to Shannon. But shouldn't young men, especially these days, you seen it, I don't have the video pulled up here, but the young guy who asked the girls if they wanted a relationship, and he asked like 6 girls, and all of them said, I'm not a relationship girl. I don't want a relationship. I want to have one night stands, and I want to have. So you're telling younger men that are up against this kind of woman. This is like beyond Modern Woman. This is like Modern Woman 2.0. You're going to tell these young men, especially the men that actually want to be something, to go out and chase the Modern Woman 2.0, and then want to love and give her love and make sure that she love her, and know that or put that in their head that they need to love this woman when they don't want a relationship. They don't want to be monogamous. They want a one night stand, but your whole being is wrapped around whether that woman loves you or not, and whether you have a woman that loves you. You said the weird part. You said the weird part of this men like him are selling courses and teaching other young men. But bro, Shannon didn't even. It was never like this. Shannon was hard. Shannon was was a pretty. That was most of the time it was pretty balanced from what I've seen. I haven't seen them in a while, but I haven't seen. This is pretty close to pandering. if not pandering. If y'all believe that was pandering, hey, but I feel like this is pretty close to pandering. I've never heard anybody on this channel say anything like this, and it was weird. Let's get back into
What
it.
do you bring to the table? A question that I always say that I think is silly. When you think about the modern world, everybody's, I get it. Everybody's going to get a housekeeper. Everybody's going to get a private chef, right? That's the fucking, everybody seems to not need to cook no more. Oh, we could just outsource that. I'm going to get me a housekeeper and I'm going to get, okay. So say that you are that person, that you're going to just get a house. What's the purpose of having a woman then? What do you need her around for? Fellas, I'm speaking to the guys that feel that's, and I'm not speaking to anybody on this panel because it looks like we're all in unison. To the people that's watching the show that think that they don't need women or they're not motivated to do the things that they do for women, then what motivates you? Why? Why would you want a woman? If you can outsource everything that your woman does for you, including sex.
And some men don't. The men that have the money that they have, some men just, trick it off. Some men don't want to worry about having to cater and do all of that stuff. They have enough money to do that. Some men do. But I'm telling you, in this day and time, the day that we live in, this is a very dangerous message to tell young men. I'm married myself, and I don't jump up telling men or younger men that they just need to jump up and get married, because the men and women today are different. They're not the same as what we are, and it was pretty bad in the 2000s when I came up. So I can only imagine what these women are out here like this now, and it's messed up. Let's keep going.
Then why would you want one?
What up, Bells?
To live with you? What good is her? It is because her nature, her aura.
Like trying to listen to ad. Hurry up.
Only water that is available to
her. What a woman resonates just being in in your presence, just being around makes you feel and do better. She don't have to say much. She don't have to do much. She may not have to.
All right, what's up, AR? You said, okay, Shannon, so if you need a woman, you've been divorced over 5 years, how did you survive? Man, I'm telling you, man, I believe this is the new era of the manosphere. I think this is the manosphere. What, I don't know what they on 3.0 now. This is a 3.0. This is like manosphere 3.0. It's pan. They trying to get the bag like the women got. If you paid attention, and this is all on the men fault. I haven't had any real invites to the manosphere. I'm just here. I'm just a part of what they call the Black YouTube. I'm just here, or YouTube. I'm just a YouTuber out here doing my thing. So as a person from the outside looking in, it looks like everybody's trying to get a bag. The women, they let the women in, and they because they all like to hear women say the manosphere talking points. The women get in, get a bag, and now these guys and people are trying to do the same thing and trying to get a bag. You've seen the people do it. You've seen Melanie King and so on and so forth do this whole business model, and I feel like it is. Well, you can't believe that the Shannon's serious about this. You just get that. You just can't. And I know it's content strategy, but come on, man. I can't do anything about the ratchets out there. I can't do anything about these older hyenas. I just tell them that my content makes itself because of you guys do what you do, and you guys you make sure that I have something to do. But I care about the younger people. I care about the younger generation, the younger men and women that really care. That's what I care about. And when you saying this stuff to these younger men, it's destructive.
To cook or clean, because I know everybody makes $100,000 on the internet now, right? That's what all the clubhouse rooms, everybody on YouTube, everybody's a high value man. I get it. So since everybody's a high value man, then what you need a woman for if you can outsource everything that typically a woman would do for you?
Oh man, hold on. See, I want to see that.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all, man. It's nothing wrong with that, knowing that, you know, hey, I'm this.
Let's pull it back for a minute.
Good as her. It is because her.
And you need a woman for that.
All right, let's. I think this is where I wanted to have it at.
Except for sex. Sex is about power.
See, I had faith in my boy, man. I knew he was going to say what he needed to say. That
Nope.
was y'all that was doubting.
Y'all hear that?
It's just crazy to me, man. It's just crazy to me, bro.
Now check out Ricky Williams. Check out Ricky Williams, y'all. This is where you'll want to listen.
I don't see how people don't understand synergies in nature, man. Like, don't y'all know that you sitting up there having that? And there's nothing. Listen, fellas, I need y'all to listen, right? It's nothing wrong with being secure in your shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all, man. It's nothing wrong with that, knowing that, you know, hey, I'm this type of dude. I'm that dude, bro. But what was a man made here for? What's the point of you being the man and you ain't got nothing to show for it? And I ain't talking about no fucking Mercedes Benz.
Like, who are you trying to show off? Who are you trying to show off for? Who are you trying to show off for? Who are you trying to show for? If you're married, that's one thing. But what are you trying to show? What do you mean? What do you have to show for? You have to show for it is your success. It's whether it's up to you, whether you pass on a legacy, that's up to you. And that's what bothers me. How many? I mean, we can say all day long that well, the women are going to lose because they're going to be by themselves at the end of the day, and they ain't going to have nobody by them side, and they're going to die alone. But they keep making the same decisions. They already know. You know, hashtag they know. They already know that they're going. You know that this is what's going to happen. It didn't take Kevin to say that. Yeah, they're being delusional about it. You know, paying the bills, you know, racking up debt. It's the same, you know, they know what's going on. It's up to them. They're making the decision to do that. You know what I'm saying? So why not the men make their decision to do the best that they can do? And then, you know, if they decide to have that monogamous relationship, let it be them. But to say this and come up here and pretty much reverse SBE the guys for not wanting to put these ladies first, it's off the chain.
The G-Wagon in the house. I'm talking about your shorties. Your real legacy, the real withdrawals, nigga. Right? You need to find a woman that's going to multiply your deposits by 10. But you think you...
How many of these women have you heard say that they want a partner, they want a partnership, and then when you heard Brother Kev ask them how many of the bills that they want to be responsible for, it was always like a 70-30, a 60-40, you know, a 90-10. It was never 50-50. So if the goal is to get with that quote unquote high value man, so they won't have to use all their money to pay the bills, what are you talking about having a woman to multiply? They're not going to multiply your money, just like they don't want you to touch their money and multiply their money. Why they want you to have more money than them. You take care of the house and everything like that, and they be able to do what they want to do with their money. That's why they don't want a man that makes less than them, because they feel like even though both of the people, even the man, let's say the man was making $60,000 and the woman was making $70,000, they get together and all of a sudden she's now having to take care of that man when they were both taking care of themselves when they weren't together. But now all of a sudden the mind of most of these women think that they're going to have to take care of that man. So if they feel like they have to take care of that man, that money that she's making, she will never let that man have control control over her money. That's why men say that they really don't care about the woman's finances, but because it's not like she's going to hand over those finances and give it to him to be able to multiply it or whatever like that. So what makes you think that she's going to touch your money and multiply your money? It's not happening. It's not happening.
You out here just to do it for yourself. You're wrong. You're wrong. You could be the baddest man on the planet, and if you ain't reproducing and put something out here for your kids, you will waste the goddamn space.
Y'all hear that?
With all that money and out kids, you will waste the goddamn on the planet, and if you ain't reproducing and put something out here for your kids, you will waste the goddamn space. With all that money and alpha bullshit.
So what are we talking about? Are we talking about deadbeat dads? Are we talking about men who are not taking care of their kids? Are we just talking about men with money that don't want to that feel like they don't want to settle down and have kids? Which one are we talking about? So are you telling the men that are successful men, you know, whether they're making $70,000-$80,000 or they're making $500,000 a year, you telling me that they are nothing unless they have a bunch of kids and put the woman, you know, on the pedestal and make sure those kids have something? Is that the only way his life can be meaningful, is through the procreation of more kids?
And you need a woman for that. You need a woman for that.
Family.
That shit is gay in my opinion, if I'm gonna keep it a being with you.
Y'all hear that?
Shit is kind of gay.
I tell you what though, man, you got any question about how a woman inspires?
So that right there. How long have we been fighting against women or saying, you know, giving our point of view of not wanting to put these women first? And what's the first thing they say when we decide not to put a woman first and take care of ourselves in that thing, or go up against her and argue with her or debate a woman? What's the first thing they say? The first thing they do is call you, gay. They insult your manhood and call you gay. And how long have we said that ad hominem was horrible, and it was the weapon of weaponizing sexuality against black men to downgrade the conversation or the talking points that they had. Now all of a sudden we got brothers calling other brothers gay because they don't feel like they need to put the woman first. Now, these new age women first in their lives instead of putting themselves first. Okay, this is where it went off the chain and it went off the rails for me. I'm gonna ask you guys this question: how many of the women content creators out there, how many of the women that have big platforms out there, how many of them how many do you think that would actually host a panel, even if they really did have good intentions and they loved men? I don't care who it is. I don't care what color you are. How many of them do you think, women empowerment spaces, do you think that they would got up in front of hundreds of thousands of people and said that you need to put the man first, and the women, you are nothing without a man. Your whole reason for you being here is for you to procreate with a man and be a man's helpmeet and make sure that he has the ability to provide and multiply his money and be the inspiration that he needed in his life. How many women platforms do you think would have went out of their way to say that message and give that message to their platform and to their entire base? How many platforms do you think would have did that and did it proudly, unapologetically, and even called other women gay for not wanting to actually put the man first? That's why you got a lot of men saying that the men that are in the space right now sound like the ops. It doesn't sound right. Now, there's one thing, like I said, there's good women, and there's nothing wrong with good women and having a good woman and being in there and taking care of each other and being there for it. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But to sit here and tell young men that their whole lives and their meaning is predicated on a being with a woman or and uplifting that woman is nonsensical. He might like the bussy. I don't know. Oh man, they will only say that to a group of women that agree. Man, I'm telling you that this is not that. I hate it, and I'm like, how many of you guys, if you ever watch this, will you ever sit out there with your son and you playing hoops and you hooping with him and you shooting up? Are you out there? You know, you take your son fishing. You finally take your son out fishing. You never took him out fishing before, right? You know, y'all get up in the truck and y'all put your fishing poles in the back of the truck and y'all make sure that y'all got all the bait you need and make sure you got your fishing license. And then y'all drive out, you know, and it's one of those, and it's dawn and the sun is piercing the horizon, you know, and y'all get out there on the lake. And then, you know, you fishing and y'all having a good time and you crack open a soda and you drink a soda with your son, and then you and him are, you know, just enjoying each other and having a good time and bonding, doing that male bonding thing, right? And then all of a sudden you bend over to him and say, son, I need to talk to you about something. You know, your whole life means nothing unless you have a woman. Your life means nothing. You are nothing. All the money that you get means nothing. Your accomplishments mean nothing unless you get a woman and put her on a pedestal. Make sure you put that woman on a pedestal, because if not, they'll call you gay. I don't know. I'll never have that talk with my son, telling my son to forego everything he wants and to make sure that in all things that he's thinking about putting that woman on a pedestal first. No, I'm going to tell him to whatever woman he decides to go pick and be with, to make sure he if she's worth it. You know, if she's not worth it, he don't need to be with her in the first place. But if she is worth it, to respect that woman. But to make sure that he has himself, his P's and Q's in order. Make sure he's the man he wants to be, so he could do everything that he wants to do and serve whatever he's doing in his community to the best of his ability, and not look back on his life and be filled with regret. That's what I would tell him, but never to tell him that he's nothing without that woman. And if you looked at the top of that title, the title said happy wife, happy life, which is another horrible thing. See, now, if you're married, you never need to tell a man happy wife, happy life. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. That means you are foregoing your who you are as a man. That means you're foregoing your emotions. That means you're foregoing how you feel. That means you're foregoing the power that you have as a man, all to keep the peace in the home. And what's the first thing we always hear about a woman say nowadays when a man or some of these platforms tell a woman that she needs to do X, Y, Z and all this stuff for a man? I'm not going to lose myself. I'm not going to lose myself to be with a man. I'm not going to lose myself and lose who I am as a person. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard a woman say that she wasn't going to lose herself, that she wasn't going to do all of that stuff for a man? You don't. Absolutely not. Which is why I said that talks like this, if you're going to have them like this, need to be on a lockdown Patreon paywall, and then y'all can have these kind of talks. But to tell the young men, especially out there now, to forego the power, forego trying to make yourself better, and to make sure that whatever you're doing all that you're doing, it is all for a woman. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's the same thing we say about Sierra and Russell Wilson. You know, I'm not one to call that man a simp because he's married. Do I think he's a little foolish? Yes. And this is the same example because he got up on national TV or whatever he was on, told everybody that his biggest fear was losing Sierra. Now I'm gonna ask you, if you are in social media or if you pay attention to any kind of media, did Sierra say the same thing back? Did she give the same sentiment? If she said yes, then I'm wrong. But I can bet money that she did not tell Russell the same thing. That's because she's not. Women are trained, and I've heard this before too. And we can debate this too. I heard multiple women say that their mothers told them to make sure that man loved you more than you love him. Let that sink in for a minute. They said that make sure that the man you're with, make sure he loved you more than you love him. But these guys are up here talking about everything a man do or should do as a man is all love based. That right there, my friends, is setting people up, setting men up for the okie doke, setting men up to put in more love without the reciprocation, aka making more of simp moves. Yes, that is the simp move. Giving and giving more and getting nothing or getting less in return. Not doing good for a woman because a woman can do good for you. But doing more and not having those same sentiments return is simp behavior. You said you never heard of the Russell Wisdom prayer.
Nope.
Oh man, no, because y'all know that's the thing that bothers me about all this, you know. And you gotta do the AI. When you learn, when your eyes open up, and you become a really balanced, you know, a devil's advocate and really balanced about this stuff. You'll learn how to step over this stuff. You'll learn how to spit it out. You know, you'll learn how to step over and not even worry about it. But the problem is there's a lot of people that don't know the AI step over. They don't know how to step over some of this stuff that they need to step over. No, they don't heard. They haven't heard of the Russell Wisdom. No, they don't, because the women love that. That's why you hear the women say now that they want a Russell Wilson. They don't want a Russell Wilson because he go to church. They want a Russell Wilson because that kind of person, because he'll put in more than what you have to give back to him. And that doesn't make you a simp. That makes you crazy. That makes you foolish. That makes you foolish. Exactly. They are giving advice to divorce. That's because that's what's going to ultimately happen. What's going to ultimately happen is you're going to live in a world of happy wife, happy life. You're going to live in a world of I need to just forego my what my thoughts, to keep the peace, you know, not say anything, you know, suffer in silence, and you know, just keep going long as she's happy, because that's why I'm here for, right? That's why I'm here for, to make sure that the woman in my life is happy, because that woman being happy is a direct result of me, and that's tethered to me and my, you know, who I am as a man, because that's what they're saying. Who you are as a man is in direct competition of how you take care of, how you pedestalize this woman. And then, you know, when you're burnt out, then that's when you snap out, and what they call it, have that toxic positivity moment, and you just blow up, and either, you know, you get divorced. It's, you know, it's one way. You can't have a one-way relationship, and that's what's happening a lot. That's what's happening a lot in today's dating and relationship field. It's one way. It's one way. You got a lot of women talking about, I want a partner. Like I said before, what is the word partner? Do y'all even know what the word partner means? Because words matter. I say that a lot too. Words matter. Look up. What's the word? The definition of partner. I'll pull it up right here for you. pull it up right here for you. Sorry about that. Pull that right up and make sure y'all can see that. The partner, let's look at the noun. Either a pair of people engaged together in the same activity, i.e. arrange the children in pairs so that each person has a partner. That means dual, as long as you have two people. Number two, either member of a married couple or of an established unmarried couple. She lived with her partner. So when a woman says she wants a partner, does that just mean that means they want two people living together? Does that mean that they just want to be paired? What does that mean to actually want, I want a partner? What does that actually mean when you say I want a partner? That's why I tell people words matter. You can't just spew out words and then expect somebody to just go along for what you say. That's just like everybody calling each other a narcissist now. That's like the buzzword, narcissist, are toxic. That's another one. Words matter. So you want a partner? What does that mean when you say you want a partner? Well, I want a partner. So a partner means you got two people. Are you going to share bills 50-50? No, I don't want to share people with 50-50. But that's what a partner is. A partner takes ownership or responsibility for a piece of that pie that y'all sharing together. They don't take, they offset each other. They don't take all of a load, because that's why you have a partnership. So do you want a partnership, or do you want something that's more preferential? Because what it looks like now is you want preferential, because you ask a woman, okay, I want a partner. Okay, you want a partnership? Okay, that's cool. We can have a partnership. So we're splitting the bills 50-50. Nope. Well, we're a partnership, but then I thought when you asked me, I thought you said you wanted a partner. Well, yeah, I want a partner, but I want him to pay all the bills, or I want him to pay this many of the bills, because I want him to make this much more money because he can pay, all these bills, and then, I can use my money on vacation. Well, wait a minute. That's not a partnership. That's a preferential treatment, or that's some kind of special partnership that you need some kind of contract for, because now all of a sudden I'm paying more of my money to the bills and you're not, but you said you wanted a partnership at the same time. So do women actually want partnerships? Do they want to go into that relationship being 50-50, or are they just putting on for the cameras? Are they just putting on for the cameras? For me, a partner means, and that's what when a man hears when a man hears a partnership, when a man hears partnership, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, well, I want to say that I'm a partner, so that means I have 50-50 on what's said in the relationship, and it can't go teetering one way or the other. But then when it comes to finances, it changes a little bit. For most, not all. I know how you guys do sometimes. You're saying, well, not all. Well, not all. But really think about it. You guys need to ask, when you're having these conversations with people, when you're conversing with whoever, think about what they're saying. Think about what they're asking. Are they really talking about things, or are they just wanting to be heard, or they wanting to sound smart or sound good? Next time somebody asks you what, I want a partner, ask them, what is that partner? What does that consist of? Don't let them get away with just saying I want a partner, because that can mean anything. Y'all know how we do. We'll remix any word. We'll remix anything. A word to us can mean 50,000 different things. That's like thick. What is the definition of thick? We might as well go ahead and look. What's the definition of thick? Let's see. Definition of thick. With opposite sides of surfaces that are a great relativity or great distance. Made up of a large number of things, people close together. Oh man, thick. Thick. We're going to talk about the colloquial thick. Now, how many of y'all heard a woman call themselves thick and they be like three women call themselves thick and they all be three different sizes? How many women you heard themselves call themselves or how them call themselves thick and they're three different sizes? That's the problem. That's the problem in the community. Words are supposed to matter, but they don't. And I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not hating on one size or the other. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I told you, grown people, y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm not trying to change y'all. I'm not trying to, make y'all health better. Y'all going to do that if y'all want to do it. And if you want to do it and need help, I'm here to help you. But if not, y'all just do you. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But that's the thing I'm talking about. Thick in the community is anything. Thick in the community can mean anything. But words are supposed to matter. There's supposed to be a definition. Where's the cutoff? Where's the cutoff? That nobody wants to put a cutoff in the community because what happens is when you put a cutoff, that means you'll have to stick to a certain standard. And nobody wants to stick to a certain standard. Everybody just kind of wants to wiggle around and be in different spots because it's easier to float in that land of ambiguity. That's a problem that we have, and it kind of floats and it kind of leaches off into different aspects of our life, and it leaches off into different words and it leaches off into different conversations that we're having to where we can't have a real conversation because there's not a real definite definition to the words and the things that we're talking about when we have these conversations, but they need to. Oh man, don't get the Lizzo crowd in here, man. They'll mess around and try to derail my conversation. But that's what I'm talking about, man. You guys need to really know that words matter. And you guys really need to know that when it's time to step over in your life, and it's when the time is to step over things like this, time to step over not having definitions for words. It's time to step over having these weird conversations like what you just seen there, because there's no way that you will, like I said before, there's no way that you would tell your sons and have a conversation with your son like that and tell him that all of that stuff, didn't matter unless that woman was put first in your life. It just wouldn't happen. And I wouldn't tell anybody's son. I wouldn't give anybody's son that kind of pep talk. I wouldn't give him that kind of encouragement. But that's where we're in right now. And somebody had to talk about it. Somebody else had to talk about it in depth. But you guys really need to know. Really need to know it's okay to step over conversations like that. You guys not all agree. People are going to have bigger content or bigger platforms than you. They're not going to agree with you. You have to step over. Some people aren't going to agree with what you're saying, or some people are just not going to like you. You're still going to have to step over them. You're still going to have to do what you got to do, and then shoot the three, shoot their eyes out, cross them over, break their ankles, and then step over them. You guys got to know that it's okay to step over them. You guys got to know as men, it's okay to let them look down at them, look down at the people that's in your way, whether they're men or women, and step over them. That don't mean you hate them. That don't mean for you that means that you didn't want them to exist. I'm sure Tyronn Lue and Allen Iverson didn't hate, I'm sure they didn't hate each other. But in that moment right there, Allen Iverson told him that he was the man and not him. Sometimes you're going to have to tell people that you are the man. Some people you're going to have to tell that, hey, I don't care if you are a woman. This is what it is, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand on what I stand on, shoot the jumper in your eyes, and keep going. And I'm not always right. And I'm not trying to be right all the time. What I want to do is give you guys something to look at. What I want to do is give you guys a different perspective. I want you guys to know that it's okay. Get that off of there. I want you guys to know that it's okay to believe in what you want to believe in. I almost forgot. Where are my manners? I want to give a shout out to the new members. You know, we got new subscribers: Dom, Sagittarius, Prince 313, and Miss She Said. I appreciate you for joining the channel. I appreciate you for subscribing. You know, it's really tough out here for a lot of us subscribers, but content creators, because we're out here doing what we do, trying to, you know, get on. Every one of us aren't, you know, ginormous in the way. And the way YouTube does now is that if you're not big, they're gonna kind of limit your content to a smaller group of people. Then to make it harder for you to get it. They say it's to make you safe, but it's really to kind of making it harder for you to reach other people. So anytime somebody can go out of their way to subscribe to your channel, make sure you appreciate them, content creators. And I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you too. This is a platform for everybody. You know, we talk about all kind of things, and your input is always welcome here. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for subscribing to the channel. Make sure you tell other people about the content here, like I said, because don't need that. Make sure you tell people about the content here, because it always helps. Until I get to a certain size where this thing can snowball, I'm gonna need all the help I can get, and I'm not ashamed to ask for help. So I appreciate you guys. I think, let me see, we're going up against on an hour right now. Anybody got anything else to say or anything that I missed? I think let me see. Oh yeah, you guys also there's something else I need to say to a lot of these boss women out here, especially because I just seen one of the Real Housewife women that you know claim that they're bosses and stuff like all the time, that they're like pled guilty to wire fraud, and I can't remember how much it is. I should have looked that up before, but these are the women that a lot of the people are looking up to. They're a lot of the people that they see every day on TV that they want their husbands to give, you know, to give them the lives that they see on TV, all while not knowing that a lot of these people are criminals. A lot of these people are con artists, and a lot of these people are scammers. This isn't the only time that I've seen. Let me see. Yeah, that was it right there. Yeah, chick right here. Real Housewives star. Put that right back on here. Can y'all see that? Real Housewives, Salt Lake City star Jennifer, I guess her name's Shaha, pleads guilty to wire fraud and conspiracy. You know, these are the people that they want a lot of women to watch and to glorify in the glamour and the glitz and then make, you know, make people believe that they're less than half of them are all frauds. Half of them are criminals. She's 48 now and faces a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. But these are the women that they wanted, that they're telling you that you need to be like, and your life will never be like theirs, all while they're criminals. All while they're criminals. It's a facade. It's all a facade. The Instagram, the TV, all this stuff is fake. All this stuff is fake. And if they ain't scamming, I guarantee, if they ain't scamming on this show, I guarantee they scammed somebody before. That's just how it is. That's how it is. 30 years. I don't watch this stuff, but you know, if you watch one, you watched it all. And all of these shows kind of do the same thing. All of these shows kind of do the same thing. I don't care if they're the white ones. I don't care if they're the black ones. I guarantee there's at least 2 or 3 couples on these shows that are out there scamming and fraud and out there frauding people. What's the black one? Bells, I know you know. What's the Real Housewives woman that husband got in trouble? Phaedra, yeah, Phaedra's husband. Wasn't he convicted of fraud too? He was convicted of fraud too, like credit card fraud or something like that, to live these lives that they want everybody to feel like they need to be living or should be living, knowing good damn well you ain't gonna live that life without scamming and frauding too. You said basketball wives or not? What happened to one of the basketball wives? What happened to one of the basketball wives? She probably wasn't even married. That's half the thing too. Half of them not even married. Half them basketball wives ain't even married. And they on the basketball wife shows living single lives, but trying to make all these married women feel like they got to live like single women too. Like I said, it's all a scam. It's all a fraud. Yeah, Bells. Yeah, Bells. All of them. All of them are frauds. All of them are frauds, and they'll sit there and they sit down there and look down on you. That's why I said you got to step over these people too. You got to learn. You got to give them the AI step over too, because all while you looking down on yourself and you looking down on your life, and you looking like you're not at the place that you want to be in life. All while these guys are up there breaking the law. They're all breaking the law, and then you're made to feel like you're less than. No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. That's why you guys don't need to believe all this stuff on these reality TV shows. Yep, it is what it is. Hey, y'all can fall for that stuff if you want to. You got to step over them. Ooh, my bad. You don't need that. I don't need that no more. You got to step over them. All right, guys. If anything else, anybody with Bells being kind of quiet tonight, you're supposed to be one of the super moderators. You're supposed to be one of my super moderators, and you ain't talking. I don't see you saying nothing. I don't see you saying nothing on there. Let me get you. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, man. Oh man, we going up on a hour and 17 minutes. Think I'm going to call it a night unless you guys got anything else to say. Unless you got anything else to say, I think I'm gonna call it a night. All in all, guys, I want you to be able to know that it's not all about your stature. You know, it's not all about who, it's not all about where you are in that certain time and point in life. Because Allen Iverson didn't win that playoff. Allen Iverson didn't win that championship, but this picture right here is etched and burnt in history. All this picture right here is etched in history because it lets everybody know that AI was a formidable opponent. And he was a force to be reckoned with. I want you guys to be forces to be reckoned with. I want all the men out there. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're Hispanic, Asian. If you're seeing this and you feel like you can't do something, or you feel like you can't make it, or you feel like you are small compared, you are a small fish in a big pond, that doesn't matter. What matters is you have the ability to believe that you can make it, that you can believe that you can do whatever you want to do in life, and you believe it, and then you go for what you want to do. And you take it from there. This man, don't believe in this that just manifestation stuff is just going to happen without you getting out there and doing something. You got to take moves. You got to take steps to be able to get to where you want to go. It's not going to happen without that, but it can happen. I don't care who you are. Anything you got, anything you want to do, you can do it. But you have to have that confidence, like Allen Iverson, to step over your opponents. You got to have that confidence to know and not look back at them and let them know you are a force to be reckoned with. And no matter what anybody says or whatever the competition says to you, nobody can take that away from you. Like I said in the last thing, I had some big things going on, and I still do. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to be a certified realtor. That's what I want to do. I have eventually having plans on wanting to get property and get property and create more wealth for my family and others around me who want to be a part. But you know, you got to learn. And my thing is, you got to invest in yourself. But that's what I said last time. You got to invest in yourself, and you got to believe, and you got to take steps. So I already, you know, I bought my paraphernalia, my books to read, and I'm going to enroll in a class, and then eventually take the state boards to be a realtor. You know, and not because you have to do all that, not because you have to go to and put in the time and effort school, because in the end, money talks. You know, if you got the money to get in the real estate game, that's all that really matters. That's all that really matters. If you you got the money. But what happens is, when you do those things like that, when you go to do the extra step, you invest in yourself. What do? Your network, like Anton said, you know, shout out to Anton Daniels. Your network is your network is your net worth. And putting yourself in positions like that to meet other people, you know, and not just rely off of what you know right there. You know, putting yourself in positions to get into places that you really couldn't be unless you had that license. You know, having that knowledge is priceless. So that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna be kind of documenting some of that when I can, to let you guys know some of the ins and outs, because a lot of people won't. You know, some of these MLSs, you know, these multi-site, you know, listing places won't let you in unless you have these real estate license, you know, or charge you an arm and leg if you don't have them. That's another thing. There's just barriers to entry to all kind of stuff. And you guys need, you know, why not learn it? You know, even if I never work for a brokerage, I'll still have the knowledge, and if I need to, sometimes I'll have it. So that's what I want to do. I'm gonna let you guys know it. You know, I'm gonna let you guys see how I'm gonna do, and you know, head forward. Hopefully, the beginning of the next year, I'll be done with everything. But anybody can do anything if they want to do it. You know, take little steps. Nobody's asking you to jump off the bridge into jump off the bridge and go head first into something without having a plan. You don't need to do that. First thing you do is that you always need to have a plan. You know, just have goals. You know, have goals to do something else. That information is priceless, guys. So, like I said before, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you stopping here with me on the channel tonight. Make the Thought and Talk podcast, episode 7. Until next time, everybody, have a good night and have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you stop by the channel to see more of that content I got coming. So, you guys have a wonderful night.